Joining us now to discuss mental health in the workplace is Dr. Jacqueline Campbell, licensed therapist and conscious leadership strategist. So first of all, good afternoon, Dr. Campbell. Thanks for joining us. So mental health, has become a rather prominent topic, I would say, in the workplace in recent times. So I think it'll be a relevant conversation today. And if I may, I'd like to start with the basics. What do we mean when we talk about mental health or emotions in a work setting?
That's a really good question. Thank you so much, because it is such a hot topic now. Before, we could have the hustle culture and we can grind and we can push through, and it's just not working anymore. The fast-paced technology, our brains can't keep up. So the decline in mental health is on the rise. There's an increase in silent quitting. People are tense and they're not happy in their work environments. It's affecting the home life too. Stress, insomnia, burnout, they're all increasing. So we have an obligation to address this even at work.
So you mentioned technology, you mentioned burnout. What puts the most pressure, would you say, on mental health at work? It's probably a combination of things, right? Is it relationships, the deadlines, the workload sometimes? And how do you overcome them?
It's a little bit of everything, because it's so multifaceted. We actually need leaders to be emotionally intelligent to give those skills by default to their team. When you have a deadline, it increases cortisol and your adrenaline. It puts us into fight or flight. We're not running from danger, but it sure does feel like it in our bodies. And the average person doesn't know how to manage that. The average leader doesn't know how to help them do that, and they don't know how to do it themselves. So what we're needing is emotionally intelligent leaders who can teach this by implementing not only emotional regulation in the workplace, but increasing stress reduction techniques in meetings.
So you bring up leaders, you bring up managers. What does an emotionally intelligent manager look like?
Right. So that's confusing to a lot of people. So it's a great question. A lot of people don't know that emotional intelligent leaders, they don't need to be soft. They need to have soft skills at the exact same time as being peak performers. This is the neurological balance between the left hemisphere of our brain, which is action-oriented, and it's contained and focused, as well as the right hemisphere of our brain, which is more intuitive, more connected. That's where the soft skills come from. And so when we're talking about leaders having to make these decisions in fast-paced environments with high stakes, they need a balance of both at the same time. So they can have one foot in the peak performer and one foot in the emotional, intelligent, intuitive leader, even if, let's say, technology is innovating and the whole corporation or the whole organization, because you're talking about schools, healthcare system, police departments, and the corporate sector, everybody is always under stress. We need to be able to know how to do both at the same time.
Would you say, Dr. Campbell, emotional intelligence, is this something that people are born with, or is it something that can be developed over time? And how do you develop it?
Right. So I believe, personally and professionally, that we all have an innate ability to connect. We're social creatures. And in order for us to survive and thrive, we need to be able to know how to connect. You can see it in all mammals. They naturally gravitate and nurture their young. They protect their young, but at the same time, they know how to do the hunt, right? And bring in the food, right? That's us going to work and hustling to bring in what we need to take care of our families. But we weren't built to always run and perform and be at our best. That's kind of like an animal constantly chasing their food. They only chase it when they need to bring it in, or they only run from something that's causing danger in the event that they're in danger. They're not doing it all the time. So us, yes, we do have it naturally in us, but it's been conditioned out of us because we're constantly disconnected on electronics. We are constantly trying to be in our performance mode instead of being able to calm, decompress, pay attention to our loved ones, and genuinely just be connected. We need to learn how to do those skills again. So it's falling to the workplace to be able to teach us how to do that.
Okay, Dr. Campbell, let me just ask you one more question. So here's a picture for you. Someone is mentally pressured, they're stressed, they want to speak up, and it just so happens that it's actually the boss or the manager or the leader who is the source of this pressure. So for this person, it might feel like, they're jeopardizing their job if they speak up. What do you do?
I love that question, actually, because it is unfortunate that a lot of times that's where the stress is coming from. When you're talking about a family unit or when you're talking about an organization, pressure comes from the top and it goes down. Just like military, if you have a problem at your ranks, look at your leader. Not to put more pressure on them, power equates responsibility. So we're talking about the ability to slow down and look at yourself, self-reflection, and take accountability without shaming. A lot of times leaders get defensive because nobody taught them to effectively take accountability with the absence of shame. Fear and shame are the two things like that. They will turn off your brain. And leaders, especially if they were really good at their job, they were promoted into a leadership position, but they weren't taught how to be able to self-reflect, take accountability when they are making mistakes, or if an employee is having a problem with them. What I've seen, and this is actually why I left the mental health field, moved into leadership development, is when an employee does speak up, they usually get shut down or dismissed. We need a leader who has the ability to sit back and say, what are the problems, and look at them objectively. This allows them to be neutral even when they're the source of the stress. This is actually the balance of the left and the right hemispheres. It gives them this ability.
Okay, well, Dr. Campbell, that's our time today, but great advice. I think I just might use some of those tips that you talked to us about. Thank you very much.
Thank you.